Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to continue with the same topic, Pakistan Zindabad. In previous lecture I told you about that how Quaid-e-Azam was greeted when he reached Maripur airport on 7th August 1947, and that how Quaid-e-Azam never showed his emotion even though he felt everything. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was at this time tired and far from well, but he had a satisfaction of knowing that the greater part of his work was done. By the force of his determination and leadership, a people who had once been a small defeated group with little hope for, in an empire ruled by a foreign power, had become the greatest power of Muslim states, the fifth largest nation in the world. 70 million people who once had no country to call their own had overnight become a nation with the great ideals and great faith. A few days after he landed in Karachi, Muhammad Ali Jinnah told his people, "You are free. You are free to go to your temples. You are free to go to your mosque or to any other place of worship in the state of Pakistan." So, after the time of independence, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was gradually falling sick. As I told you before in the introduction, that the long struggle has made him weak, and he was not the man who will show his emotion or his feelings or even his health issues in public. So he never told anyone about his health issues, but his doctor used to tell him that he needs rest. But Muhammad Ali Jinnah was determined to do what he wants to do, and he actually, when got the success, this burden was taken off from his shoulder. By the force of his determination and leadership, people who once were considered to be the defeated group in subcontinent, as you know in the history, that when Britishers arrived, the the community which prospered under their rule were Hindus, and the Muslims were considered to be the defeated group in a way that they were not given good jobs because they were not educated enough as the Hindus were. So this little group of Muslims need their own nation to live freely. Quaid-e-Azam was the only man with his leadership, under his leadership and determination, this hope became reality. Otherwise, we could be living under the foreign power. First, it was Britishers, then it could be the Hindus, and we would be crushed under them. This is what Quaid-e-Azam have seen, because he was a person with a wide vision. He has studied in a foreign country. He knew that what could actually happen with the people if they were left under the rule of Hindus, because they have planned to crush the Muslims under their rule, because after a very long time Hindus gained their importance and they were in majority in subcontinent, so they got the power to rule after a very long time, so they don't want any other power to come in front of them. So that's why they kept Muslims, under them. They were given lesser status job, and as I told you, they were not as educated as Hindus were. So they were the defeated group. And then what could have been happened, that they could have been living under the foreign power. They don't have their own power if they were left under Hindus. And what was the number? 70 million people. That means 70 million Muslims were in subcontinent. So this is a good number to have their own country. There are smaller numbers and they have their own country, so why not Muslims should have their own country? And this is what Quaid-e-Azam worked on, and the other Muslim leaders of Muslim League also worked on the same idea, that the 70 million people in some continent deserve their own country with their own great ideals and great faith. So this is what the mission was, and it was accomplished. And what happened a few days after he landed in Karachi? Muhammad Ali Jinnah told his people that you are all free to go to your worship places. It could be temples, mosques, anywhere. And this is what the Pakistan was all about. It was not only for Muslims, but it will be protecting the minorities as well. And he says that everyone is allowed to worship as they want in the state of Pakistan. You may belong to any religion or caste. We are all citizens and equal citizens of one state. So it's a continuation of the same thing. He was, of course, reminding them of the Prophet's teaching that all men are equal in the eyes of God. So, according to Quaid-e-Azam in Pakistan, there will be no discrimination between any caste or any religion. Everyone would be equal in the state of Pakistan, as everyone is equal in the eyes of God. It was at Lahore in March 1940 that the Muslim League took the decision that split India into two nations. They agreed not to accept any plan for India which failed to give Muslims an independent state in those parts of India where there were more Muslims than Hindus, such as East Bengal and Northwest. So, at the time, this is the 23rd March 1940 when it was decided in Lahore. It is also called the Pakistan Day as well, that we should split the India into two, and it was decided by Muslim League. They have this meeting over there, and in that meeting it was all signed and decided that we need to have our own nation, and no plan of India would be acceptable if it is not going to give the authority of the Muslim majority areas to Muslim. These are few pictures at the time of the Muslim League struggle and Quaid-e-Azam's determination and he delivering the speech over here. This is the whole team of Muslim League which worked hard with Quaid-e-Azam to gain Pakistan, and this is what could have been published in Dawn at that time. Resolution passed in Lahore. Triumph for Mr. Jinnah's leadership. This is the announcement which was given at the next day after it was decided. So this is the small picture of that newspaper. The Indian newspapers called this the Pakistan Resolution. The name Pakistan was invented in 1933 by Chaudhry Rahmat Ali, a Cambridge student who spent his life fighting for the idea Pakistan. He wrote that it is both a Persian and an Urdu word. It composed of letters taken from all our homelands, Indian and Asian, that is Punjab, Afghania, Northwest Frontier Province, Kashmir, Iran, Sindh, including Kutch and Kathiawar, Turkestan, Afghanistan, and Balochistan. It means the lands of the Paks, the spiritually pure and clean. So, in the Indian newspaper, it was termed as Pakistan Resolution. We also use this term for this resolution. And then the Pakistan word, the name for this country, was coined by Chaudhry Rahmat Ali in 1933. This is a very important date, name, and the decision, and the thing which you have to remember. And then he says that Pakistan name is just not like just given out like just like that. It has the parts from everywhere, Indian and Asian as well, and he gave all the names of the places in which letters have been taken to make Pakistan name. Think 100 times before you take the decision, Jinnah told the League at Lahore. But once the decision is taken, stand by it as one man. It was just because the Muslims did stand by their decision that the Qaid was right when he declared, no power on earth can prevent Pakistan. Congress leaders spent most of the Second World War in prison on account of their mass civil disobedience plan against India's declaration of war. During this time, Jinnah won over almost all the Muslims. So, this is one of the very famous quote of Jinnah, that if you stand by your decision, no one can make it impossible. And this is what we have done for the Pakistan. The Muslim League stood by their decision. Jinnah was that firm person to which everyone held very tightly the ideals, the ideology. When Jinnah said that when you take a decision, just think 100 times before you make it happen or take that decision. So they took the decision. They want Pakistan and they stood by it. And it happens that no power on earth can actually prevent Pakistan, for the same reason that everyone stood by it very strongly and firmly. There were no second thoughts about it. And at that particular time when they were fighting for Pakistan, what the Indian Congress was doing, they were having their civil mass obedience against Britishers. They have their own strategy basically. They want them to push they want Britishers to be out of the country, so they were pushing them out by going in civil disobedience plan. And according to the plan, they were boycotting the Britishers things, and they were thrown into the jail. So while they were doing these activities and busy in that, Jinnah was doing something else. He won over almost all the Muslims. When he was not traveling from place to place speaking to huge meetings, he spent all his time at desk writing to Muslim League workers in all parts of India. He even found time to start a newspaper which he called Dawn. As most newspapers in India were owned by the British or the Hindus, the Muslims welcomed a paper of their own. Throughout the war years, he was a very sick man, but he refused to take his doctor's advice to take rest. I have work to do, he would always say. So while the Congress was busy in this mass disobedience, Qaid-e-Azam has different mission. He actually did a lot of meetings with the people, with the Muslims and Muslim League in different parts of the country. He started his own newspaper, which was the voice of Muslims in the subcontinent, because they don't have the Muslim newspapers. Either it was British or Hindus. So they were actually projecting their ideas, their ideology, and it was read by all. So he need their own newspaper so that the Muslims would be guided properly, because this is the good media to actually motivate them and to teach them then what is right and what they should be looking for. So Muslims actually have this Dawn, and this was created by Qaid-e-Azam for the same purpose, that it is going to actually portray the voice of Muslims. And at that time, he was so much sick that the doctors have suggested that you should take rest, but he would always say that I have work to do, and he would ignore the suggestions of the doctors to take the rest when he was falling sick. Let me explain it clearly. سو ہوا یہ تھا کہ جب قائد اعظم اس کے بعد یہ کہتے ہیں کہ اتنی جد و جہد کے بعد کافی بیمار رہنے لگے تھے. اس پہ ڈاکٹرز کی ایڈوائس تو تھی کہ آپ جو ہے ریسٹ کیے, لیکن کبھی انہوں نے یہ اس پہ دھیان نہیں دیا کہ وہ اپنا آرام کا سوچیں, اور کبھی انہوں نے اپنی طبیعت کے بارے میں عوام کو بتایا بھی نہیں, نہ لوگوں کو نہ قریبی لوگوں کو. سب دیکھتے تو ہوں گے کہ ان کی ہیلتھ ڈکلائن ہو رہی ہے. ان کے دل میں اور دماغ میں صرف ایک سیٹسفیکشن اس وقت ہوئی تھی, اور تھی کہ وہ اپنے مقصد میں کامیاب ہو گئے. جب پاکستان بن گیا, وہ کراچی میں تھے, تو اس میٹنگ میں انہوں نے کہا کہ یہاں پہ پاکستان میں ہر مذہب کے لوگوں کو آزادی ہے کہ وہ اپنے مذہب کے طور طریقے استعمال کریں, اور اپنے مذہب کے مطابق جو جگہ ہے عبادت کی, وہاں پہ جا کے عبادت کریں. پاکستان میں ہر کوئی برابر ہوگا, جیسے کہ اللہ کی نظر میں ہر کوئی برابر ہے. دس واز دا میسج آف قائد اعظم فار دا پاکستانیز وین ہی لینڈڈ اوور ہیئر ان کراچی, اینڈ آفٹر ورڈس ہی ہیز اے میٹنگ ود آل دا ماس. اس کے بعد پھر یہ بتاتے ہیں سیکنڈ پارٹ آف دا چیپٹر اسٹارٹس ویئر دے اسٹارٹ ود دس تھنگ کہ یہ ریزولوشن کب پاس ہوا. یہ 23 مارچ 1940 کو لاہور میں یہ پاس ہوا تھا کہ ہمیں ان ہندو اور مسلم کے الگ الگ نیشنز چاہیے, اور مسلم لیگ نے یہ ڈیسائیڈ کیا کہ وہ کسی بھی طور پہ ایسے کسی بھی اسٹریٹجی کو قبول نہیں کریں گے کہ جس میں مسلم میجورٹی ایریا کا اختیار مسلم کو نہیں دیا جائے. پھر اس کے بعد وہ یہ بتاتے ہیں کہ پاکستان کا جو نام ہے وہ چودھری رحمت علی نے بنایا, اور وہ انہوں نے ایکسپلین کیا کہ اس پاکستان کے ورڈ میں ہر اس جگہ کا ایک لیٹر شامل ہے جو مسلمانوں کا ہے انڈیا میں اور ایشیا میں. تو اس طرح سے پاکستان کا جو ہے نام آیا, اور اس کا مطلب ایک طرح سے یہ ہے کہ اٹ از دا لینڈ آف پیور, یعنی کہ یہ پاک جگہ ہے پاک لوگوں کے لیے. اس کے بعد پھر یہ اس پوائنٹ پہ آتے ہیں کہ جب برٹشرز جانے والے تھے تو پھر ہو کیا رہا تھا. کانگریس نے تو ایک ماس سول ڈس اوبیڈینس کے طور پہ ایک مہم چلا دی تھی کہ ہم برٹشرز کو یہاں سے نکالیں گے اور اس پہ قبضہ کریں گے سب کانٹیننٹ پہ. ان کی یہ اسٹریٹجی تھی. تو اس وقت قائد اعظم کی اسٹریٹجی بالکل ڈفرینٹ تھی. ان کی اسٹریٹجی یہ تھی کہ انہوں نے یہ سمجھا ضروری کہ ہمیں اپنے مسلمانوں کو سب کانٹیننٹ پہ ایک مقصد کے اوپر تیار کرنا ہے. اس کے لیے انہوں نے جگہ جگہ جا کے میٹنگز بھی کیں, اور انہوں نے اس کے لیے ایک اخبار بھی بنایا جس کا نام ڈان رکھا, اور یہ مسلمانوں کی آواز بنا. اس وقت جب ہندوز اور برٹشرز کے نیوز پیپرز تھے سب کانٹیننٹ میں، تو اس وقت مسلمانوں کی آواز بننے والا جو نیوز پیپر تھا، جو میڈیا تھا، وہ ڈان تھا، اور یہ قائد اعظم کا ہی بنایا ہوا تھا، کیونکہ قائد اعظم چاہتے تھے کہ ہماری بھی آواز مسلمانوں کی سنی جائے، اور وہ یہی سب سے بہترین طریقہ تھا۔ جب کانگریس ان مسئلوں میں پھنسی ہوئی تھی کہ وہ کسی طرح سے برٹشرز کو یہاں سے نکال دیں اور وہ ان کے حق میں فیصلہ کر کے چلے جائیں یا چھوڑ کے چلے جائیں، بھاگ جائیں یہاں سے، تو یہاں پہ قائد اعظم نے اپنی تیاریاں اور تیز کر دی تھیں، اور اس مشن پہ وہ پورے لگ گئے تھے۔ اپنی صحت کو انہوں نے سائڈ پہ رکھا۔ جب ڈاکٹرز نے بھی کہا کہ آپ کو آرام کی ضرورت ہے، آپ بیمار ہو چکے ہیں، تب انہوں نے کہا کہ مجھے بہت کام کرنا ہے۔ وہ صرف انہوں نے اس لیے کہا تھا کیونکہ اس وقت کم رہ گیا تھا اور مقابلہ سخت تھا، کہ انہوں نے اگر اپنا مشن پورا کرنا ہے، پاکستان کو حاصل کرنا ہے، جیسے کہ انہوں نے ایک کوٹ میں کہا کہ اگر جو ارادہ کرو تو اس پہ اتنا تم فرم ہونا چاہیے اور پکے رہنے چاہیے کہ دنیا کی کوئی طاقت آپ کو ہلا نہ سکے، اور ایسے ہی ہوا۔ مسلم لیگ ان کے ساتھ کھڑی ہو گئی، اور وہ لوگ جو تھے اور بھی مسلمان جتنی کمیونٹی تھی سب کانٹیننٹ میں، وہ اس مشن پہ اور اس مقصد سے جمی رہی کہ ان کو پاکستان حاصل کرنا ہے، تو دنیا کی طاقت ان کو اپنی جگہ سے ہلا نہیں سکی اور پاکستان بن گیا۔ تو قائد اعظم نے اپنی صحت کو بھی اس پہ کمپرومائز کر دیا، انہوں نے اپنی صحت کے بارے میں خیال نہیں کیا اور وہ کام کرتے رہے۔ مسلم لیگ بھی کرتی رہی ان کے ساتھ، لیکن قائد اعظم کی لیڈرشپ اور ان کی ڈٹرمنیشن ہی تھی جو آج ہمیں پاکستان حاصل ہوا تھا۔ تو this is for today, beta. I will be explaining the rest of the chapter in the next lecture. Thank you.